Savcılıkta ifade verdi. Nöbetçi hakimliğe sevk edildi. Son günlerin gündemdeki zanlısı. Ciftlik Bank'ın kurucusu Tosuncuk lakaplı Mehmet Aydın tutuklandı.
Brezilya'dan geldi, ifade verdi, nöbetçi hakimliğe çıkarıldı, tutuklandı. 3 Temmuz'da İstanbul Havalimanı'nda gözaltına alınan Ciftlik Bank davası sanığı Mehmet Aydın'ın emniyetteki sorgusu tamamlandı. 5 Temmuz pazartesi günü saat 21 sıralarında başlanan Aydın'ın ifade işlemi 6 Temmuz Salı 23 sularına kadar devam etti.
This is the story of a 25-year-old man who went from washing dishes to becoming one of the world's most wanted scammers, hunted by Interpol for more than 2 years. A man who deceived over 100,000 people, stole $80 million, and struck a devastating blow to the economy of a country with 85 million citizens. On May 31st, 1990, Mehmet Aydın was born into a poor Turkish family in the city of Bursa. From a young age, he faced the stark realities of life, forced to leave school early in order to contribute to his family's meager income. Working as a waiter and dishwasher, Mehmet struggled to make ends meet. Yet, despite the challenges, Mehmet harbors a deep, unwavering dream in his heart. He yearns to become a rap artist. Fueled by this passion, he writes lyrics and even records several tracks. However, the path to the big stage proves elusive. His music does not gain the traction he hopes for, and the bright lights of fame remain out of reach. Fate has other plans. During his brief foray into the music world, Mehmet crosses paths with an online game developer. This seemingly chance encounter proves to be a very important moment in his life because in 2016, when Mehmet turned 25 years old, at the peak of popularity was the game Farm Wheel, where players could create and develop their virtual farms. So inspired by this concept, Mehmet decides to create his own project with the help of his new friend. Together working in Aydın's garage, they launch a project called Ciftlik Bank, which translated from Turkish means Farmer's Bank. The main idea of the game was as simple as possible. Players could buy virtual animals to look after them. The main currency of the game was gold. For it, you could buy animals, chickens, goats, cows, or bees, with the help of which, in turn, you earn gold by selling milk, honey, or eggs of your animals. The profit you receive can be used to buy new animals. You can also buy gold currency for real money and use it to manage your farm. Also, if things are going well on your farm, you can exchange gold currency for real money. And this is not the only difference with the regular game. Another key point was the connection with real farms, because every dollar invested by players had to be invested in real operating farms that were located in Turkey. These farms produced real products like honey, milk, or eggs, and players had the opportunity to receive part of the profit from the sales of these products in specialized stores. And after a few months after the launch, the game already had more than 50,000 active players. At that time, Turkey's agriculture sector was going through a difficult period due to droughts, reduced subsidies, and complex regulatory challenges. Small-scale farmers found it increasingly difficult to stay afloat, and government officials were desperate for fresh ideas to boost the economy. Against this backdrop, Farmers Bank appeared not just as a game, but as a beacon of hope, a chance to stabilize Turkey's agriculture while giving everyday people a way to invest in something tangible. Capitalizing on this promise, Mehmet launched a big advertising campaign. A key component of it was the involvement of celebrities in promoting the game. This not only increased the project's popularity, but also added a layer of credibility and public trust. The participation of well-known actors like Mehmet Çevik was crucial, as their image was widely associated with positive values in society. Featuring such figures in commercials enhanced the audience's belief in the project, functioning as a sort of guarantee of its success and safety. The campaign also leveraged television as a primary means of promotion. Commercials were broadcast on national channels. For many viewers, seeing advertisements on television remains a factor confirming the legitimacy of a campaign. This idea, coupled with a big advertising campaign, caused a wave of enthusiasm throughout the country, and thousands of people believed in this idea and began to invest their real savings in the game. At the peak of popularity, more than 500,000 people played it. of which 132,000 people invested their personal money in the game, and the amount of investments exceeded $280 million. Farmers Bank became a true symbol of prosperity and support for the Turkish economy. But was everything really so perfect? Despite its stunning success and widespread popularity, Farmers Bank was nothing more than a classic pyramid scheme. So, how did it work? The story began with players investing real money into purchasing virtual animals and farm products within an online platform. This money was supposed to be invested into real-world farms and agricultural production. At first, Aydın appeared to deliver on his promises. In 2017, he purchased 2 farms in his hometown of Bursa, along with 400 heads of cattle, lending an air of legitimacy to his venture. He even announced an 8% monthly profit increase for the company, creating the impression of rapid growth and a stable, thriving enterprise. However, the reality was far from the promising image Aydın presented to investors. Most of the farms he claimed to own were nothing more than entries on paper, existing only in theory. The stores, which were meant to showcase the success of the business, were designed merely to maintain the illusion of prosperity and growth. Aydın's company introduced a franchise model, opening stores across Turkey that carried the Farmers Bank game logo. For a buy-in fee of around $30,000, franchises were granted the right to operate stores selling sausages, cheese, butter, honey, and other goods. These products were marketed as being produced on the company's farms, creating a strong connection between the virtual investment platform and tangible, real-world operations. But in reality, the goods were purchased from third-party suppliers, merely rebranded to fit the company's narrative. But it was this kind of active marketing that increased the trust in the project, attracting more and more users, because people saw real stores and products. But if it was a pyramid, how did it even acquire such scale? Users of the game received their payouts on time, which reassured them and encouraged both them and their friends to invest even more money. It created a snowball effect. As more people invested, the payouts grew larger, attracting not only small investors but also wealthy individuals willing to contribute significant sums. However, like any pyramid scheme, the system was entirely dependent on a continuous flow of new funds. When the moment the flow of new money slowed down, the entire system began to fall apart. This is exactly what started happening by the end of 2017, when players began to complain in large numbers about delays in their payments. Around the same time, Turkish regulators took notice of Farmers Bank. Why? Because the company was operating through a front company registered in northern Cyprus, which Aydın had set up to avoid paying Turkish taxes. In early 2018, it became clear that the project was getting out of control. Sensing the inevitable collapse, Aydın abruptly sold off his company's shares and vanished without a trace. Shortly afterward, the game officially stopped accepting new people and making payments to existing players. By March 2018, the Turkish Ministry of Commerce publicly declared Farmers Bank a fraudulent scheme. A criminal investigation was launched, and an arrest warrant was issued for Aydın. But how much did this affect him at the time? Judging by what happened next, it seems he wasn't overly concerned. Reports soon emerged that Aydın had fled to Uruguay with millions of stolen dollars. Far from hiding in shame, he was reportedly living a life of luxury. He drove around the streets in his Ferrari, enjoyed dinners in expensive restaurants, relaxed on his own yacht, and visited casinos, where he left decent amounts of money. But as you probably already guessed, the music didn't play for long. The Turkish authorities weren't going to leave it without attention. They moved to active actions, and even Interpol itself got involved in the case and issued a red notice for Aydın's arrest. Now the hunt for him has begun all over the world, and not only from the police. According to reports, victims of the scam who seek revenge have offered a $350,000 reward for the capture of Aydın, dead or alive. Posters offering the reward have been put up in Uruguay and around Kyiv, where Aydın was rumored have moved to after spending years in Uruguay. In July 2021, more than 3 years after vanishing without a trace, Aydın voluntarily surrendered himself at the Turkish consulate in Brazil. Why did he do it? Perhaps he realized that there was nowhere left to run, or maybe the stress of constantly looking over his shoulder convinced him that hiding indefinitely was impossible. Whatever his reasoning, one thing was certain: his luxurious life had come to an abrupt end. Aydın was swiftly extradited back to Turkey, where he faced serious charges, including fraud, the creation of a criminal organization, and money laundering. His extravagant assets, yachts, a Ferrari, and other symbols of his once opulent lifestyle were all confiscated by authorities. What's more, the charges against him were so severe that prosecutors sought an unprecedented prison sentence of 89,000 years. But the most astonishing part of the story is that despite fleeing Turkey with an estimated $80 million in stolen funds, Aydın returned as a pauper. According to reports, when he was apprehended, he had just $13 in cash left in his wallet. It is completely absurd how Mehmet Aydın was able to appropriate hundreds of millions of dollars in such a short period of time. No one questioned his flawed business model. The whole nation believed in the innovative, young, innocent-looking man. People played the game to support the beloved agriculture of their homeland while earning money, a tempting offer that many blindly believed. This story serves as a stark reminder of how easily people can be drawn into schemes promising fast and effortless wealth, especially when the idea is packaged as something groundbreaking and patriotic. The project appealed to a sense of national pride and the dream of financial independence, but in the end, it left hundreds of thousands of people with nothing. Many lost not only their life savings, but also their future, as they had taken out loans in the hope of striking it rich.